Morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Had a great couple of days. Friday night, I had a wild night of, what did I do? I started recording guitars and doing a bunch of changes on the song, making up time. I did make room for an a cappella part in the middle, which I'm excited about. I think it's going to work. I am curious about what kind of production elements I would put under it, or none at all, so I'll probably play around with that. And so when I originally recorded this, I think it was about 2 steps up. So I brought it back down, and a lot of the demo tracks I actually just pitch changed, just to make sure I could kind of understand what it was going to sound like and sing over it in the new key. But with because with MIDI you can just drag them down, but with actual recordings, I think the bass is still like that. You might not be able to tell the difference, but so this scratch bass, you can see it was time shifted. And so let me see what this sounds like. It always sounds, it can work in a pinch, and there's better ways to do it, but if you're just getting like some kind of sense of what it would sound like in a different key, which I know in other videos I've talked about the importance of finding that right key that fits the singer, or for me, it's for me, kind of allows them to really maximize their range and kind of be in the pocket for a good portion of it, but then be dramatic with the lower or higher, usually higher parts of their range for specific parts. So anyway, that's a nice way to be rather than just sitting at your, if you can do it in the songwriting process, that's great. But for these, I'd already written the songs, so I need to adjust them. But you still can do it. So anyway. Yeah, so I changed the structures of the song, and also each time you do that, just a tip, always make a new version of it. I try to make new versions every time, because you Pro Tools will give you various backups, but this allows you to look, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to change things up a lot. A lot of times you can find your old stuff, but this allows you to kind of go in a much different direction, and then you can leave it there and go back to where you were if you wanted to. But so I made a new version which had a new song structure, and then it's probably totally known in the world, but I'm not sure when they added it, but folders are pretty awesome. So rather than using groups, and I know this is technical, but if people work in this, the difference between a group and a folder is a group, basically you can select a group and you can mute them, solo them, you can adjust the volume. So usually what I'll do is I'll group I'll play a couple things here. So let's see. So acoustic guitars, that's something I did yesterday. So then yesterday I did I recorded I wouldn't say the fully final right now, I've got them listed as re-recorded but not fully edited. So what I usually do is do 2 guitar tracks. So even if it's an acoustic track, I'll do a 2 tracks of the exact same arrangement. It won't be the same exact take, but I'll attempt to do them as close as possible. And then so those are 2 of me trying to do a good take of each twice, and then usually I'll pan them 100% left, 100, one of them 100% left, 100% right, and it really gives some really cool nuances, right? So you're not going to play it perfectly, and this isn't. So I record it through my Neumann 87 into the 1073, then through the 1176 compressor, and that's just my standard. I have, you can see my, well, maybe you can't see it. So my 1073 has two channels. So the top is just my default vocals, and then the bottom one is just my default acoustic guitar. And then I've got 2 1176, so I have my default vocal chain and my default acoustic. So then I just patch them down, and yeah, so then whenever I'm doing that, I just record. So my point is that I don't use DI, I just record with a microphone. So even when I'm playing the acoustic guitar, even if I just move slightly differently, obviously I'm gonna play it a little bit different. And then I'm, even the room and the angle that the mic is hitting the acoustic guitar it's going to be thrown off a little bit. Not thrown off, it's just going to give it a different sound. As I'm even just like moving in my chair a little bit. So I love doing that. I do that same with electric guitar. So yesterday I did, what was the other thing? Oh, I added this kind of cool, so this is where it gets a little bit crazy with recording, is that you come up with little ideas. So this is one I thought was pretty cool. As the second verse comes in, they'll just be like palm muted acoustic, kind of picking it out, and again, split left and right. So that will blend in, I think, pretty well with the acoustic is picking out specific parts. And then if I add in some of the MIDI stuff I was doing. So that's sounding really good. You go through, when you're recording like this, you go through these waves. Like when I got done last night, I recorded all the acoustic guitar, I finished the electric, and I was really pumped to get the acoustic done, because electric's pretty simple. What I usually do is just go through the pedals. I think I showed in a different video, into the Kemper. I've been switching through a cool Silvertone amp and another was it Clone Centaur? That actually my good friend Shane Key, when he was at my studio recording some stuff, he was telling me about these pedals, which I'd actually never heard of. I guess Jason Isbell loves them, and they're like, they only made a certain amount, and they're like handmade, and there's only, I mean, I don't know that they still make them, but they're like thousands of dollars. But you can, the beauty of the Kemper is what they do is they actually use microphones to create a profile, truly a profile of what that sounds like. You can even like record your own setup and have it be a profile. So anyway, I found a Clone Centaur, I think that's what it's called, profile. And so I've been using that as well. So between like a cool old school Silvertone amp and then that. And so I recorded those, but those are like, those are easy to recall, whereas acoustic is a little bit more setup, you know, and to get the sound, like you really want to do all the acoustic at the same time. Electric, I can probably pop in and redo some of these later, and it won't be, or even punch in if I wanted to, but let me see if those turned out. I'm not 100% sold on them, but let me see. So these are ones I did yesterday. I'll only take all the solos out and just play those. Pretty cool. Like, you know, I guess what I was trying to say is that I got done last night and I was like, I had this little moment, because it's not mixed, right? So everything you're listening to when I'm focusing on the acoustic guitar is really loud, and so I like listen back a little bit and I'm like, ugh, this is horrible. Just restart. But then you just play with it a little bit and try and get the levels at least closer, and you're like, oh, okay, this is cool. So usually that's how it goes. And I think these every little part is supposed to just play like a small roll, like at different points. See, the electric there was really like, I didn't really like how it was sounding when I recorded it, but I just have to always remember, like, it's gonna fit in some pocket, right? It's gonna be EQ'd, it's gonna be balanced, And I'm not this isn't a metal song, so the electric guitar, while the tone and all of that's important, and the arrangement and playing it well, it's just playing a small role, and I get to make those decisions as to what's showcased when, which is great about it, but it also, yeah, there's like a responsibility, like it's on me to figure out how to make all of these things work, especially since I love having a lot of arrangements. So, which is fun. Like I love that process, but then you have to actually have the discipline of like what to keep and where to put it, and what's going to best help make the song shine. So, yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else cool to share with this. Anything else I did? Oh, the fact that they use folders now is really cool. This is so that you can group them, and I can still keep them grouped, but then you can use them for mute and solo, but also just like hide them. I don't know if you can see this, but like, can you see? No, you can't. But anyway, it gets a little crazy with all of the, like what I used to do is you can group them, and then you can even make them like the track height smaller. So instead of being like big like that, you can go to small or mini. But what this does, it allows you to have all of the stuff when you want to see it, and then basically boom, MIDI track done. So at the end of the day, like I can have like just a couple of buckets of tracks that can be hidden, and then when I need to kind of drill down to them, I can. Or so anyway, Avid, I appreciate that improvement. Yeah, that's all. Very excited about. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it today, but I basically need to just focus on backup vocals and then final vocals, and then this bad boy should be ready to get mixed and mastered. What I'll probably do is have this be the lead single, I think, while I finish up the other tracks, at least to get the ball rolling. I realized I kept saying a spring EP, and like it's March, so get to it, dude. Let's see, where are we at? 12 minutes. I'm trying to make sure these aren't rambling. I don't think I'm rambling in this one, but it doesn't. Look, you can always not listen. You can always turn it off. So if you have time or interest and this is, you enjoy this process, great. If not, I'm not going to feel bad about it, because you can always just turn it off. So I'm not going to overthink it. Already overthinking it. Yeah, so we got a show tomorrow night. Really excited. Paddled South, 7 p.m. in High Point here. Another singer-songwriter night, and we've got like double the people playing it, and this is just our second one. So excited to see what happens with that. I'll be playing this one and a couple others. And I'm excited to finish this one, because that will give me more kind of focus and attention to a few more songs that I'm trying to finish up, which means that I can start playing them live and finishing. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Might play a song later tonight. I don't know. So you might get double content. Bye.